Hi, this is Sean. Welcome to Guitar Reference Guide. In today's lesson, I'm going to be taking you through the classic Moanin by the great Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers, one of the greatest, hippest, most badass jazz groups of all time. This tune is a must-know standard, written by Bobby Timmons, 1959. This tune has got so much groove to it. It's basically a blues jazz, but more leaning on the jazz side. This is perfect for the blues or rock guitar player that are looking to get into playing some standards, playing some jazz tunes, because the whole head revolves around your F blues scale. The entire head is in the F blues scale, which makes it pretty accessible. A couple things about the tune. We're in the key of F minor. There are some slight modulations. I'll take you through that in the lesson. It's going at 126 beats per minute. It's basically a shuffle. It's an AABA 32 bar form, and those are the main specs of the tune. What are you going to learn this lesson? This is going to be a complete lesson. I'm going to take you through the head, I'm going to take you through the chords, and then what you heard me play in the opening, I played the first 24 bars of Lee Morgan's trumpet solo. So I'm going to take you through that, and that is really, really cool. I mean, Lee Morgan, one of the best improvisers that ever lived. When you start learning how to play solos from different instruments on guitar, it really translates well, gives you fresh new ideas, and there's a lot of things that just the guitar player wouldn't think of, and so obviously Lee Morgan is master. So I'm going to take you through the first 24 bars of his solo. As usual, if you click on the link below, you go to my website, I have a PDF there. If you purchase the PDF, you'll get the jam track for free. I also created a jam track with the tune. That's what you heard in the opening of the YouTube video. So thanks so much for checking me out at guitarreferenceguide.com. Look forward to doing the lesson, and let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to start with is the head, and like I said in the opening, it's all based on this scale, your basic F blues scale. So we're going to start with the F note, the 3rd fret, and I'm just going to play this and then play it real slow. Phrase number 1 comes in on the and of 1. 1. Now, I'm playing 3, 3, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1, 3. Then right after that, I'm going to flatten my ring finger, playing a B flat here, second inversion, playing with the G in the bass, playing 3, 3, 3, and then 3, 2, 1, and there's your F chord. So B flat to F. And that's your first phrase. 1. Phrase number 2 is almost the same, starts the same way. Now on the second phrase, starts the same, then we hit the 3rd fret here. We're going to hit this twice. Now we're going to, pinky's going to go to the flat 5, and this is going to be rapid fire. This is a triplet. And then back to the F note, 3rd fret 2 times, and then back to our B flat to F. So phrase number 2. Phrase number 3. Now phrase number 3 doesn't start the same way. This one comes right in on the beat. So after the first beat, you're going to go 1. You're going to play the F twice there at the 3rd fret. You're going to rake to the C note. That's going to be the 1st fret of the B. Right after that, you're going to play the 4th fret, 1st fret, and then the 1st fret, when you hit this 1st fret, you got to get out of dodge to hit the triplet again. Back to the B flat to the F. So phrase number 3. And then we're back to phrase number 1. But it starts on the beat. And then that whole thing just repeats. So that goes 2 times in a row. So now I'm going to play through that whole thing And that's going to bring us into the B section. I'm going to play real slow. Phrase 1. And then this is going to bring us into the B section. So now we're at the second ending. And that's going to sound like this. Phrase number 1 on the second ending. So I'm playing the 3rd fret 2 times, sliding up to the 6th fret of the D with my ring finger, index finger on the melody note, which is going to be the C note, 5th fret of the G string. 2nd finger is going to hit the bass note, which is the 6th fret of the E string, which is your B flat. And there's your main hit note there. So we have another triplet. So now this phrase is going to sound like this, much like the one of the ones we did in the A section. We're going to pull off 4, 3, 1, 3rd fret, flatten back to the 3rd fret on the G, back to the F, 3rd fret on the D, and then the next measure we start with the A flat. So one more time. Next phrase. Now there I arranged the horn part. Those are the 2 different lines that the horn is playing. Very easy to play on guitar. So now we're going to go like this. Phrase number 1. Phrase number 2. Phrase number 2. We're going to play 3, 1, 3, 1. Now I'm playing the 3rd fret on the D and the G. Pinky's going to come off. Now you're playing the 1st fret on the G. Index finger comes off. You're still playing the 3rd fret on the D. And then now we're back to the 3rd fret and index finger. So that's going to sound like this. And then the next phrase starts the same way as the first one. But this time, this phrase changes. So here I'm going 3rd fret, index, 3rd fret, 3rd fret, 1st fret, 3rd fret, 1st fret, 1st fret, the C note on the B string. And that's going to be on the last part of that. So let me take it from that second to last line. Now 4th fret, 1st fret, 3rd fret, 1st fret. And then now we're back to the A section. Now I'm going to play through the whole B section. And that's the B section. Then it goes back to the A section for one pass, and that is our head for Moanin. Okay, now the chords for the A section, very straightforward. We have an F minor 7, or an F minor 7 like this. We have an A flat 9. Play like that. This is a great voicing here. Pretty hard if you're moving quickly, but this is a nice voicing. You have 4th fret, 4th fret. You have your 3rd fret on the B flat, and then you have your C. There's your 1, there's your flat 7, there's your 9, and there's your 3. Your standard G7 chord, 1, 1, 4, 3, and then your C7. You can play like this or like this. Let's play like this. So we have 3, 2, 3, and 1. Now lots of times if you're moving really quickly, it's easier to just play the small chords. Now A flat dominant chord, an A flat 9 chord is just a dominant chord. So a great way to vamp this to stay out of the soloist way would just be to play your 1 flat 7 and your 3 on the F minor. So you're just playing those 3 strings, 1, 1, 1. A flat 7, you're just playing the guide tones. 1, this is going to be 4th fret, 4th fret, 5th fret. It's 1 flat 7, 3. Same thing on the G, same thing on the C. So that's like a really good way to vamp over the A section. The higher chords, F minor 7, you can play like this. This would be 3, 5, 4, 4. A flat 9, this would be, you're playing your 6th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, and 6th fret. Then I'm going to move to my G7 chord like this. This is 3, 4, 3, 3. And then the higher voicing for C7 will look like this. So you're playing 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 1st fret, and 3rd fret. And those are the basic chords until it gets to the second ending. And then we're going to have a 2-5 turnaround in B flat minor. And that's going to sound like this. Here's my C minor 7 flat 5. So there's 8, 8, 8, and 7. And then my F7 flat 9, classic 2-5. Here's my 8th fret, 7th fret, 8th fret, and 7th fret. It's my 1, my 3, my 7, my flat 9. And then it would kick into the B section of the tune. And those are the chords for the A section. Okay, so now that we've gone through all those things, before we get into doing Lee Morgan solo, we're just going to talk about briefly some concepts for improvising over this tune. Because this, even though we're playing F minor, A flat 7, G flat 7, this still predominantly is going to all work with the pentatonic scale. In fact, that's what he does when we analyze his solo. So I'm just going to give you an example now. I'm only playing the F blues scale. So there I was playing all pentatonic ideas. Pentatonic using that flat 5, and it just adds the chromaticism, when you use that, works really well. It gives it a real jazzy tone. So even if you don't have a lot of jazz ideas memorized or jazz licks memorized, or you don't know how to play over the arpeggios, that's going to work really, really well. Just literally playing and that's going to work through that whole thing. It's going to actually work through the whole tune. Concept number 2 is going to the chord tones, obviously. So if you were to play, over the F minor arpeggio, A flat arpeggio, G arpeggio, C7 arpeggio. That's all going to work really well. That's like a little bit more advanced, but at the end of the day, you can't go wrong by using the chord tones. It just really outlines the chords nicely. So, quick recap, using your blues scale, using arpeggios, and that's going to work great. And that's even going to work through the B section when it has the 2-5 here. When you come to this minor, you can use the G Dorian scale. That'll work really well. And then it goes to the F. You can hit the chord tones there. B, B9 arpeggio would work really well over that. But in a nutshell, you could do the F blues scale over the whole tune and it's going to work great. Feel like you have a handle on that. Start looking at the chord tones for each one of those chords. That's going to go a long way. Okay, now for the solo section. The majority of this is in the F blues scale, F minor pentatonic. Phrase number 1 is going to sound something like this. So here I'm playing at the 20th fret, bending up a whole step, 16th fret, 18th fret, 15th fret. And there I'm playing the 13th, so that's not in the pentatonic scale. Really flavor, cool note, colorful note. And that's phrase number 1, real slow, whole step, 20, 16, 18, 15. Now I'm going to play 17th fret, 19th fret, 18th fret, 16th fret. The same whole step bend there to 16, 18th fret, and then I'm moving up to the 20th fret or the 15th fret here. And that second phrase would sound like this. So 17, 19, 18, 16, whole step bend, 16, 18, 15. Next phrase is going to sound like this. So far we have next phrase. We're going to start on the 17th fret of the G, 18th fret, 16th fret of the high E, whole step bend again, 16, 18, 16. Now we have a little chromatic line. We're going to play on the G string. We're going to play 17, 16, 15. So that's going to sound like this. So the last part. Now moving over to the 13th fret on the G string. Now I'm going to do a chromatic line going in the other direction, starting at the 13th fret of the D. 13, 14, 15, 12, and there's your 6, which is really cool hip note. So that last little phrase. And that'll be the rhythm. And that will be the first handful of phrases over the A section. Awesome. So that's the first set of phrases. Now we're going to have a rake. And here we're playing all minor pentatonic here. We're going to rake to the 13th fret of the G string, starting at the 15th fret of the A string. And to rake, I just lightly hit this note. This is barely audible. It's kind of like dead notes. And you kind of roll it until you hit the note, and then a little more energy with the right hand. All minor pentatonic here. Bend. Back to the 15. So that would be that phrase. And I move over to 12, half step bend release. Another rake. Another rake here. Now we're starting at the 18th fret. So I'm going 18, 16, 15. 15 is my destination now. 18 on D, 16 on G, 15, but that's a rake. 18, 16. Now I move over to the 13th fret. Next phrase. Now here we're playing standard minor. So 13th fret on the B, 13th fret on the G, 12th fret on the G, 15, flatten that finger to 15 on the G, 15 on the D, 13, and 15. Great phrase. Now we're going to move over to the 10th fret, and I'm going to play, this is going to be rapid fire. We have this pedal tone here, which is going to be the F, and then I'm sliding into the 13th fret of the B string, which is the 5th of F. Now I'm going to play 2 times again, then I'm going to slide into the 12th fret of the B to the 11th fret. So that's like a chromatic line. It's all coming off this pedal. And then I do it again and I pedal off of the 9th fret of the B. So one more time real slow. And that would take us through that phrase. Now right after I hit this 13th fret, I'm going to come back to 11 and 9 and I'm going to do some pull-offs. Pulling off from 11 to 9. And after 3 of those, I'm going to slide 11 to 13 and then I'm going to end on the F. So that whole phrase. Slow. And that takes us through the A section of the Lee Morgan solo. So let me play through that real slow, that whole thing. And then now over the B section, we have some super hip lines here. Phrase number 1. So here I'm sliding 13 to 14, 14, 13, 11, 13, 14 on the B, 11th fret on the high E, 13 on the high E. Then I'm going to slide 16 to 18 and then back to 15. So far we have again, really slow. The next phrase. So after I get to 15, on the high E, 13, 12, 14, 13, 11. And that that'll be the next phrase. Okay, so let me play up to there. Slide 16 to 18, 15, 13, 12, 14, 13, 11. Now the next phrase is really cool, also very, very quick. So here I'm playing 13th fret on the G, 14th fret on the D, and then 12th fret on the G, and that's like an augmented line. This goes really fast. 13, 14, 12, 14, 15, 12, 13, 11 on the B. And that will be that phrase. And then here I'm going to hit the 13th fret 3 times. Actually 4 times. And then the next phrase I'm playing 13, 14, 13, 15, 14, 13 to 13, and this is over an F chord. As you can tell, every single line he's doing is outlining the chord. So that's outlining the F. And then we're going to the 16th fret. So let me do that phrase one more time. Coming out of here. 16th fret, 14, 16, 13, 16, 13. Now I'm going to play 14th fret on the B, 14 on the G. Then I'm coming back to 13 on the B. Now this phrase goes really quickly. We're going to play 14th fret. Let's just stop right there. So then we're going to go from 13th fret. Got to get the phrasing there, the timing. And that goes really fast. And that's our one of the last phrases here. So one more time through that last phrase. Right after we hit the 13th fret on the B, we're going to have, so here I'm playing 14th fret, 15th fret, 15th fret, 16th fret. So 14, 15, 15, 16, 13, 15, 13 on the A. And then the next part, so that's going to take us up to the A flat 9. Now we're on the G7. And this is going to be a straight pull off. I'm playing 14, 13. I'm playing straight chromatic line here. So 14, 13, 12, 11. And that is, I'm pulling all my fingers off of that. And that's another chromatic line starting on 13. So 14, 13, 12, 13, or 11. So that's going to be 14, 13, 12, 11. Now 13, 12, 11, 10. I'm going to pull this one off. And that's over the G7 flat 9. Then the next phrase, I'm going to move up to the 14th fret. So here I'm pulling off 14 to 12 to 13. So 14, 12, 11, 12, 14, 11, 13 on the B, 10th fret on the high E, and 13. What a great phrase. This is all going over a G minor chord. Now I'm sliding from 11 to 12 on the high E, 13 on the B, 9 to 10 on the high E. So far. Now I'm going to have a chromatic line starting on the 11th fret. 11, 10, 9, 12. And then onto the 13th fret of the B. So that whole phrase. Now in time that would sound like this. And then I'm going to slide up to the 15th fret. And I grab a whole bunch of notes there. I'm going to be playing a triplet and then real fast 16th. And then ending on the 13th fret, which is the F on the high E string. Okay, so now I'm going to take the solo from where the B section starts. And that would be the solo for the B section. Now I'm going to play through the chords for the B section. We start with has a 2-5 to bring us into it, and we went through that, the chords for the A section. Now I'm going to have a B flat, starting with the B flat minor 9. I'm playing 6, 6, 6, 6, and 8. Then I'm going to have my A flat 9 chord. Then I'm going to have a G7 flat 9, so that's going to be 3, 4, 3, and 4. And you can use your thumb to grab the low E string. C7 sharp 9, 3, 2, 3, and 4. Back to a G minor 7, which I'm just playing like this. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. And then I'm hitting an F chord to a B9 chord. So regular F triad, 3, 2, 1, 1 into the B. 9, which is going to be 2, 1, 2, 2, 2. Back to the B flat 9. A flat 9, G7 flat 9. Back to G minor 7 to the C7. And then we're back to the